I'm Mark Sponsler from StormSurf.com, and here's the surf forecast for the Hawaiian Islands for the week starting Friday, January 13th. Brought to you by your surf authority, expert advice, and friendly staff, Hawaiian South Shore. Be sure and like and subscribe. Ring the bell. You get automatic notifications when the videos are posted, typically on Friday evenings. All right, let's get to work. We'll start by looking at current conditions on the north shore of Oahu, the Waimea Bay buoy, number 106. We're looking at all the energy that's hitting the buoy, all the way from 33.3 second period, really long, strong energy, which there really isn't any, all the way down to 5 second period wind chop. We see a big bump right here at about 13, 14 seconds. That's our primary swell. That's what's providing all the rideable surf. We see 1.6 feet at 15 seconds, 4.6 feet at 14.3 seconds, 4.2 feet at 13 seconds. But you take all this energy, you integrate it together, and the primary swell comes out to be 7 feet at 13.6 seconds from 320 degrees. That's about 9.5 foot Hawaiian. That's double overhead, almost triple overhead. And that's about what the surf is like. Then we'll do the same thing on the south shore, Barber's Point buoy, number 238, and we see a little bit of energy in the 14 to 12 second range, somewhere down in there. That is wraparound energy from the northwest, and almost none of this is actually getting into protected breaks on the south shore. Maybe exposed breaks, but not a whole lot. Anyway, that swell, if you look at it, primary swell is 2.2 feet at 12.5 seconds. 2.7 foot Hawaiian, we'll say chest high. That's probably overstating it quite a bit. But anyway, there is a little bit of energy on the south shore. So where's the swell coming from? Well, on Sunday, the 8th of January, a little gale developed here just west of the dateline, the international dateline right there. Japan there, the Kuril Islands, Kamchatka, Aleutian Islands, and the mainland over there. Hawaii right down here. This gale started building as we got into Monday with about 35-foot seas, but then quickly built with seas pushing up to 49 to 50 feet just north of the islands. Most of this energy pushed off to the east, but good solid sideband energy radiated down into the Hawaiian Islands. Here we are. You can see the front, the swell front, hitting Hawaii on Wednesday, and then Thursday starting to diminish. And then as we get into Friday, diminishing even more. That swell still hitting the islands. Now let's go back in time just a little bit. We're going to rewind and go back to Wednesday, because another gale developed off Japan right here with 37 or 38 foot seas pushing 40 feet. Now not as large a fetch as the previous storm and further away from the Hawaiian Islands. So swell is not expected to be as large, but still good solid energy in the upper 30 to near 40 foot range, then fading as we get into today with maybe 24, 25 foot seas remaining. You can see the swell front pushing towards the Hawaiian Islands as we speak. So what's coming for the future? Well, we know for sure there's one more swell already in the water pushing towards the Hawaiian Islands. This is the surface level pressure, surface level wind analysis. Again, same deal, Japan, the mainland, Hawaii down here, Aleutian Islands up there. This gale fading out with 30 to 35 knot northwest winds and weakening as we get into Saturday. Another quick system pushes northwest of the Hawaiian Islands on Sunday, producing, again, like 40 knot winds, but all aimed well off to the east. And yet another system is forecast on Monday, pushing off Japan with little tiny area of 55 knot winds. This is a small system, though. 50 knot winds mainly. Oh, they're building. Actually, that looks pretty good. Almost 60 knot winds there as we get into Tuesday, the 17th of January, pushing over the dateline and headed for the Gulf of Alaska. And behind that, yet another system is forecast on Thursday, the 19th of January, building again with 50 to 55 knot winds. Now, this aimed more to the south, but the gale, again, pushing off to the east pretty quickly. Still, looks like it could be a good swell producer. There's Hawaii. There's a fetch out of the north aimed right at the islands. So certainly some potential there. Let's go look at the effect of those winds on the ocean surface. So here we are, significant wave heights for the North Pacific Ocean. Again, this is our previous gale with 20, 22, 25 foot seas. Hawaii right there, pushing towards the islands. that swell, you can see it almost arriving somewhere on Saturday, something like that. Fading out, another system, blast past with 25, almost 26-foot seas on Sunday into Monday the 16th. Not really concerned about that, but then yet another system starts developing on the dateline with 36-foot seas, pushing to 38 feet as we get later into Tuesday the 17th, then pushing north of the islands with 33-foot seas on Wednesday the 18th, and yet another system behind that with potentially 30-foot seas building to 34, almost 38 feet, aimed well at the Hawaiian Islands. So the progression of storms continues, the jet stream strong, feeding storm development, but becoming more focused in the West Pacific rather than the East Pacific as it's been for the past 2 weeks. This is good for Hawaii. Quick look at winds for the Hawaiian Islands, Maui, Oahu right there, Kauai there. The arrows give you the wind direction and the numbers, the wind speed in knots. So basically trades out of the north as we get in, out of the east at 10 knots on Saturday. On Sunday, trades again about building some, we'll say 15 knots, something like that. So we get into Tuesday, trades lighten up, 10 knots or so, maybe even a bit weaker. Notice northwest winds starting to develop over outer waters as we get later into Monday. Tuesday, maybe a weak front pushes through, but then back to trades. We'll say 10 knots. And then going into Wednesday, almost southeast. And again, you get this sort of south flow. Looks like maybe a weak front trying to go through. Yeah, south winds as we get into Wednesday. And then Thursday, the 19th. Northwest winds, not too strong, 5 knots, but probably enough to kind of junk it up a little bit. Friday, back to trades at 5 knots or so, and that's the end of our forecast. So let's put that all together. There's a lot going on. We'll start with Saturday, the 14th of January. Residual swell from the dateline, fading out at 3.8 feet, 11 to 12 seconds early. That's about 4.5 foot Hawaiian, so a foot overhead, something like that, and from a pretty northerly direction. But that new dateline swell starts building at 5.8 feet at 17 to 18 seconds later in the day. 9.5 foot Hawaiian, so double and a half overhead from 315 degrees, pretty westerly directions. Winds out of the southeast at 5. That's very light, nice for the North Shore. Sunday, that dateline swell takes over, but it's fading from 5.9 feet at 15 to 16 seconds early. That's 9 foot Hawaiian, again, double overhead plus from a westerly direction with trades 15 knots. Monday, the dateline swell fades some more, 5 feet at 14 seconds, 7 foot Hawaiian. That's 3 feet overhead, 4 feet overhead, something like that, top spots with trades. Still out of the east, pretty light. Tuesday, dateline swell fading more, just lingers on, 4.6 feet at 13 to 14 seconds. 6 foot Hawaiian, we'll give it 3 feet overhead, something like that at top spots. Trades still southeast at 1 to 5 knots. Then Wednesday, a little pulse of secondary swell fills in, 3.9 feet at 15 to 15 seconds later. That's 5.5 foot Hawaiian. We'll give it 2 feet overhead with trades continue 1 to 5 knots. So all in all, a really good surf forecast for the North Shore. Not particularly huge, but certainly not small. Advanced to expert level surf continuing through the week. And beyond that, well, you saw the models, just continued nonstop surf. We're in a really good pattern now. The jet stream is doing great, consolidated, pushing off Japan to the dateline, a little bit over that, and then supposed to split. That generally should keep the fronts for the most part away from the Hawaiian Islands, but yet feeding storm development to the dateline and a little bit over, close enough to the Hawaiian Islands to produce significant class swell, or at least well overhead surf. If you're a beginner, find a protected place to surf. Don't get yourself in over your head, but great for advanced and expert level surfers. And the pattern just looks to be going on. Winter has arrived in earnest. The La Nina pattern, which generally is not good for swell production in the North Pacific, is quickly fading and being replaced with something far more energetic. So our hopes are up for the rest of the winter, which is really good news. We didn't think it would happen. The change would happen as soon as it has, but it has. So that's a gift. What a great way to start off the new year. So get all your equipment, get ready for more surf. Be sure to do your shopping at Hawaiian South Shore, and we will be back next week. Same time, same channel. channel with the surf forecast. Thanks for watching.
Mahalo for checking us out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please continue supporting us by subscribing to our channel. Aloha.